if someone's speaking, make sure to keep us on mute. And then, of course, we always encourage sharing your video. We love to see you in this virtual world that we're all going through right now. And then based on this slide, whenever we go into our breakout rooms, we want to make sure we get you over to the breakout room associated with the degree that you're looking to pursue within the school. So on here, it's going to show you some abbreviations. So for instance, if you're looking to go into accounting, before your name, you're going to want to rename yourself and put ACCT before that. So then we know which breakout room to put you into. In order to change your name, you're just going to click on the three little dots at the top of your name, and it will have a drop-down menu that you hit rename. And then from there, that's where you're going to add those abbreviations before your name, and then your name will be listed, and that'll help us get you to the right place. So we have, like I said, a large lineup, so we'll get started right now. And I'm going to turn it over to our dean, who is Dr. Molly Hudgens. So take it away.
Hello, welcome. And typically, I usually like to begin by welcoming all of our students to Harmon Hall. Obviously, I can't personally invite you in the door to Harmon Hall this evening due to the pandemic, but I wanted to go ahead and begin in the same way because I think Harmon Hall says a lot about us as a School of Business. So I am Molly Hudgens, and I'm the Dean of the Plaster School of Business and Entrepreneurship. And I also will introduce our Associate Dean, Dr. Jennifer Mack, who is on the call as well. And you saw the outside of the building of Harmon Hall, and maybe a few of you have had the opportunity to already visit campus. But the pictures that are on the screen now also paint a little bit of a picture of Harmon. And you're going to hear me say, and you're going to hear us say a couple of times this evening, welcome to the family, and Harmon is our home. And you're very fortunate as a School of Business student to get to have a home in Harmon Hall. And the reason I say that is because many of the faculty that are on here tonight, and the faculty that make up the School of Business, all of their offices are located throughout Harmon Hall. You will see that we have classroom sizes that are small, and we really promote an atmosphere where you feel comfortable not only interacting with your faculty in the classrooms, but interacting with your faculty in the hallways. We actually feed you in Harmon. We have a small snack bar. We have students that throughout the day and even throughout the evening spend a lot of time in Harmon. It becomes a really collegial atmosphere where you have breakout rooms and can do study sessions, where you have the computer labs that you can access and work with your classmates and your teammates in that manner. So for many of you, you may be student athletes and you will come to Lindenwood and you will have a team to be on. We like to say in the School of Business that you really come to a family as well. And I'm gonna say welcome, and there's some exciting things that are going on in Harmon. In addition to that family atmosphere, you're gonna see your classes, and this is from the very beginning, from your freshman year. You get to experience some hands-on learning. It's not just from the textbook, it's project-based, it's experiential, doing some service projects for corporate America and nonprofit America and government entities. So you really learn from faculty who have real-world experience, so that when you're ready to graduate, and I will say the key here is that we graduate you and give you the chance to move out of your parents' house at some point, which is, I know, the goal for everyone, that you move on ready to embark on your career. So with that being said, I can stand and talk to you all night, but one of the things that I think we're going to feature tonight that you're going to see is a really great overview of what the School of Business and what Lindenwood has to offer. We're going to begin with a little overview of our first year programming. We are very fortunate that we have a dedicated program to all of our first year students. That includes a class, but it also includes an advising office that is dedicated to your success. It's dedicated to retaining you. It's dedicated to helping you through that first year that can be a tough transition. But then we're gonna move into some other things that you get to experience, from career services and the opportunity to learn globally, and give you a quick overview of each degree program that we offer in the School of Business, and then also let you hear from a couple of our students who have had some great success as they've navigated their way through the School of Business as well. So we're going to show a really quick video that just kind of hits a few highlights, and then we're going to let it rip from there with some other people so that you hear other perspectives this evening as well.
The most thing I'm passionate about teaching is making a difference in a student's life. I believe that every single human being is born with a talent, and it's up to them to figure out what that talent is and how they can use that to bring about a positive change in themselves, in the people around them, in their society, in their community.
A lot of teachers, they used to work in the real world. So throughout class, they'll be giving a lecture on something, but then they'll give us a story or something of their real world experience that they had to kind of make you understand it.
I had an internship over the summer, and here I am learning new techniques, in my especially international business, because it's always evolving. And I gave them a few points, and I didn't think that I would teach them some things, but they used my decision, and that's kind of something I'm really excited to see, my work here translating into the real world.
Lindenwood actually has on-campus interviews for the firms to come on campus, so they went ahead and said, we'll have this internship, and then after that, we offer you a full-time position too. Such a relief, like knowing that you already had a job lined out and you haven't even graduated yet.
The university is big enough that it has a presence, but it's still small enough that it has a closeness and a character.
Here, I feel like you actually matter, kind of. The teachers want to help you succeed. If you tell them, what you want to accomplish, what you want to get done, they'll push you and help you to get towards that.
They really give you the opportunity to be successful with all the advice and help that the professors give, with really making sure you're prepared for your career.
I want you to grow your passion. So if they're passionate about business, come on in and we'll figure out what you need to be in. If you're not, then we'll figure out what your passion is.
So from there, Dr. Schneider or Crystal will turn it over to you all about our first year programming.
So hi guys, hi everyone. So my name is Carolina Schneider, and I'm an associate professor of management here in Plaster School of Business. And I, in addition to teaching, I also loosely oversee the Office of Student Advising here in Plaster. And I say loosely only because our advising office is absolutely wonderful. It's a well-oiled running machine, as you're gonna find out. So before I go ahead and introduce you to one of our student advisors, I would like to quickly ask of any new freshmen or transfer students with less than 9 credit hours to click the thumbs up button under the reactions, just so I know how many of you I'll be seeing this, this coming spring semester. So if you can do that for me, I would really appreciate it. So whether you're a business admin student or whether you want to study business, but you're not quite sure which direction you would like to go to, Introduction to Business is a wonderful class for that. So not only my main reason for the class is to familiarize you with the basics of business, but to also kind of help you narrow down the field. So enough of me, at least for now. So it's my pleasure to introduce you to our wonderful student advisor, Crystal Marshall.
Hello, hello, and welcome everyone. Crystal Marshall. So I am also an alumni, graduate of Lindenwood, both undergraduate and recently my MBA. So welcome to the family. It is truly exactly what Dr. Hutchins says, which is pretty much this is your family. So welcome to the new family. Here in the new student advising office, we would like to make sure that we are your best friend. Make sure whenever you have questions, concerns, whether it's within the School of Business or even something else outside of the School of Business, make sure you reach out to us. That way we can help answer those questions that you have and make sure we get you over to the right people. When you start here at Lindenwood, either as a first-time freshman or even a new transfer student, we're going to make sure that we have those face-to-face or right now virtual meetings with you in order to make sure that we're going over the various degrees that we offer here at Lindenwood. When it comes time every semester to find classes, we're going to do that with you. We're going to have meetings where we're going to sit down and we're going to look at your program plan to identify what you should take that next semester coming up. Of course, we want to make sure that you get involved here on campus. There's lots of clubs and organizations here. So we want to make sure that we keep you involved and really get to know your fellow students, your professors, build that network up. And most importantly, it's keeping you on track. We want to make sure that we get you out of here on time. So those classes that you take, those are the ones that are important for your degree to make sure that you stay on track. And of course, as Bailey is not here today, but he wanted to make sure we told you is that when we don't hear from you, we get scared, we get worried. So please make sure that you reach out to us whenever you have any questions or concerns. Our contact information is on the screen. So please make sure you take a screenshot or you can write that information down. And at any time, you can schedule a virtual meeting with us. That's that Calendly link at the very bottom of our contact information there. One thing I want to introduce you all to is what we call a program planning guide. What this is a document that you will have as soon as you come to Lindenwood. We are going to build one for each student depending on what degree you're pursuing. And I really love to show students this tool because it will show you all the courses that you need to take in order to obtain your degree. So on the screen here, for example, we have a Bachelor's of Arts degree in accounting for the current year. And so each row is showing you all the classes that you need to take, your English, your maths, a science with a lab. And from top to bottom, it is really going down and it's going to be showing you all the courses that you need to complete. And so that's going to be a big piece of when you're meeting with us in the advising office. We want to make sure that you know we have something that keeps you on track, shows you exactly what you need to take, and just keeps things very simple and concise for you. And please, if you have any questions, concerns, any follow-up questions, do not hesitate to reach out to us now. Grab that screenshot so you can have our contact information. All right.
Kind of moving down the line, and as you progress, and this is something that we will begin to talk to you about from the very first class you take in the Intro to Business class that Dr. Schneider mentioned, is your opportunity to really gain real experience. And we have a dedicated career services office within our School of Business. And so I'm going to turn it over to Emily Albers to talk a little bit about those opportunities.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. My name is Emily. So like Dr. Hudgens said, I am a dedicated career strategist for the School of Business. So that's kind of unique to you guys. I am the only person who is located within Harmon Hall, so I'm really available to you guys. Of course, I'm virtual right now, but once the pandemic is over, I will be back, and I'm really excited to meet all of you and talk with you about your career development. So really some examples of some things that I can help you with is resume development and critiquing, interview prep, job and internship search strategy. And then we also do events throughout the academic year. So we do 2 career fairs each year, professional development workshops. We have an etiquette dinner, which is a really cool opportunity. We also have a networking event. And then again, post-COVID and pre-COVID, we will have our employers on campus recruiting to really give you those opportunities for networking as well. One really unique thing about Lindenwood and the School of Business is that all of our students have the opportunity to do an internship for academic credit. So it's something that's really encouraged in the school, and it's kind of a win-win-win, right? So you get the academic credit for it toward your degree, you get the experience that you can put on your resume and prepare you for your future career, and you can get paid. So there's really not a lot of downsides to pursuing that internship and that experiential learning that you kind of get outside of the classroom. Just in the last 2 years, actually, our students in the School of Business have interned at nearly 300 companies in the St. Louis area. So there's no shortage of opportunity out there. And really what I'm here to help you with is connect you with those opportunities. And it's not to wait until your senior year. You know, like Crystal said, I want to be your best friend too. So come and meet with me your freshman year. I will talk to you about some different career paths you can pursue. We can do some interest inventories and really get you set on the right track for your future career. So like I said, I hope I get to meet all of you soon and talk with you about your career development.
I don't really probably have to introduce everybody, but so we're moving along and kind of some other opportunities. And one of the other opportunities that we have grown and continue to promote that I think all students should take advantage of is also our global learning opportunities. So I'll turn it over to our Director of Study Abroad.
Hi, everyone. My name is Elizabeth. As Dr. Hudgens mentioned, I oversee our Study Abroad program. I also am joined here today by a couple of wonderful faculty who have both led faculty-led programs, which I'll talk about more in just a moment. If you want to switch to the next slide, please. So one of our goals is to make sure that we have a variety of options so that no matter what your situation is, whether you're a student athlete, whether you're heavily involved on campus, whether maybe you don't want to go for as long of a time to get that international experience, that we have a variety of options for you. So we have everything from your traditional semester abroad, which is in the bottom left here. These are both business students. We had Josh who went to Austria and Monica who went to Spain. They were able to spend a full semester abroad taking a full range of courses just like they would here on campus. They were also able to take advantage of internships in many of our programs. You know, Emily mentioned that internships are a win-win-win. So I guess an international internship is a win-win-win-win because not only do you get all the great benefits she already mentioned, you get that international experience, which is a great resume booster. Over the summer, which is one of our more flexible opportunities, we have internships you can take part in. We have classes you can take. Our students there took a couple classes in Italy towards their business degree. We've got service learning or volunteer opportunities. So lots of great chance, anything from 3 weeks to 8 weeks over the summer. And then finally, faculty led. So these are going to be short-term opportunities, usually about 7 to 14 days long. They're led by a Lindenwood faculty member, and it's a great opportunity to kind of dip your toe in the water of international travel, go with a Lindenwood faculty member and really take a deep dive into that experience. That particular photo is actually from a course that Dr. Daly led a couple years ago to Peru. So I don't know, Dr. Pellicetti or Dr. Daly, if there's anything you'd like to add to your experience as leading faculty led. They're here.
I don't know. I was waiting for Joy. Hopefully the world will be reopening soon and we can introduce these courses again. And in the meantime, we're trying to find ways to bring the world into our classroom. And so we are actively seeking experiential learning activities throughout the semester. Even now, during COVID, we are finding ways for our students to engage in the broader world and participate in global business.
Yeah, I was deferring to you, Shelley, first. So yeah, I think if we're hoping that this is something we're able to start again soon. So the short-term courses that are faculty-led, I think these have the advantage of helping students who have never been abroad before and who are kind of shy or uncomfortable about thinking about going a semester by themselves somewhere. So I think it can be a really good way for in a more comfortable format for students to get the study abroad experience. Josh, who's down in the left-hand corner, he was on a trip that I led with Carolina Schneider, and we went to Scotland and Ireland and also England, and that was his first time outside the United States. And from that, there he went to and did a semester in Austria, so he's got the bug. And he also did a trip to Japan to see a friend of his. So I think it's a really good entree. Some students, it just opens up their eyes to travel and to other parts of the world. So we're hoping that we can make this happen again soon.
And correct me if I'm wrong, Emily, but in between that, Josh also did a great internship with Boeing. So he really took advantage of all of the different opportunities that may help you grow as a student and into your career as well.
Yes, he absolutely did.
Okay, students, so now here's where you may get to turn your mute off. we want you to be able to ask some questions, and you may not be as comfortable asking questions of faculty yet. So we have a couple of our best students, and we want them to share a couple of experiences. But this is a time as well that if you've got some questions that we can't answer or that you may want from a student perspective, please feel free to open up and ask them as well. So Kat, I'll turn it over to you first.
Hey guys, my name is Kat, Catherine Kat. I did my undergrad as a nonprofit student. Unfortunately, that degree doesn't exist, but there is still a minor. I really enjoyed my time, or I'm still here as a graduate student, sorry, also in the nonprofit program. I have really enjoyed my time here at Lindenwood. There's always things going on as a school that has a bunch of athletics. There's always things to do over the weekends. The Plaster School of Business, I haven't had a single quote unquote bad professor in my 4 years here. I have had friends at other universities tell me horror stories about professors that just disappear halfway through the semester. Never had that. Always super connected with my professors. Class sizes are really small, so you kind of make that connection, which I feel like you don't get at a university that has a massive auditorium filled with students. I don't know. I really like it here. That's all I can say, I guess. Katie, it's up to you.
Yeah, mine's kind of the same. So I am pursuing my Bachelor's of Science in Accounting. I am expected to graduate in the spring, and then gonna turn around and get my master's next year here as well. Kind of like what Kat said, I think my favorite part is just the fact that the classes are relatively small, so you really do get to connect with the professors and actually get to know each other on a personal level, whereas at the larger universities, you're in these huge auditoriums where you're not really getting that one-on-one time with your professors. They do a great job of keeping you engaged. It's not just lectures and lectures. There's projects, a lot of class involvement, and just I think a huge thing is that a lot of these professors have had outside career experience, so they really do bring that into the classroom. And I think another thing, as a student athlete, we have our award ceremony at the end of every year, and we always have this award that goes to a professor, and essentially we get to choose them. And almost all the professors in the running are from the business school. So I think that just kind of goes to show that they really do care about their students and care about their success. So.
Prospective students, you have any questions?
As a quick add-on too, that I didn't mention, I've done a lot of different, or I've been in a lot of different classes, but in all of the classes that I've had, or at least over half of them for sure, I've done different projects that have involved me getting involved with an organization outside in the community. So I've worked with, like there's an animal shelter around here that I did a big project with. My professors have brought in professionals to talk to us. And I think that that connection to the outside world and not just like in classroom book work is something that Lindenwood does really well.
Nobody has questions? So I'll ask, oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, so I kind of had a question regarding, like, obviously with the pandemic and everything that's been going on for the last several months, how has that kind of shifted your learning experience? Because like coming in as a freshman in the fall, I just kind of want to have a little bit of an expectation there, knowing that we could very well be in the same situation.
Yeah, I think our professors have done a great job of shifting to the virtual world. We do still have the option to go into class, and some students take advantage of it and some don't. But even logging in online, I mean, the professors are there every day teaching the same. It's like you're still in the classroom. They have all the tools and they've learned all the technology and they've really adapted well. And they respond to your emails well. If you want to have like a one-on-one virtual meeting, you can do that if you're not comfortable with going into the classroom. But it's it's basically the same. I think the transition has been really smooth.
I would agree. I think that all the professors I've had this semester have really put an emphasis on having office hours available virtually, and that you can just like jump in and ask a question and leave. You know, there's no pressure. It's super convenient.
Other questions? Just real quickly, as you have students that are sitting here either trying to make a college decision or they're about to embark on their college career, any words of advice for success to them or that you guys may be able to give?
I would basically just say, choose a school that makes you feel like you're at home. I think Lindenwood does a great job of making you feel like you're a part of a family. There's a place for everyone here, whether it's on a sports team, an organization, a club, and kind of what you said in the introduction, Harmon is its own family. When you're walking down the halls, you're going to see a classmate that you recognize or a professor that you might have at the time or might have previously had, and everyone's going to say hello to you. And it's kind of just a fun place to hang out. And so making sure that you feel like you're at home, I think, is definitely something to consider.
I would wholeheartedly agree with that. Also, I think that a lot of people get into their head like this whole, I need the college experience. But I think that an important thing that I learned as a freshman is that your college experience is what you want it to be, what you make it to be. And you shouldn't take someone else's version of college and like try and force that on yourself. I just say make the college experience that you want.
I have a question.
Sure, go ahead.
How long did it take you before you knew exactly like what you wanted your major to be? Because currently I'm in business classes in high school and I have absolutely no idea what I like yet in business, but I know that I want to do.
Yeah, that's a great question. I actually came in undecided. I was kind of leaning towards like exercise science and business. And so I took classes kind of in both areas. And I actually took, one of my first business classes was financial accounting. And I never would have thought that accounting is something that I would have liked. But I think once you get a feel for the different classes and your professors start bringing in that real world experience, you kind of then start to consider what you might want to do. And so I just kind of picked my pathway with accounting because I really liked that first class. And I think I had Professor Wilbrand and she just was amazing and kind of opened up my eyes to accounting. So the more classes that you take, I think the more you kind of get a feel for what you like and what you don't like.
I think probably our intro to business class helps a little bit with that as well, because it does let you have some experience or exposure to all of the different majors in the School of Business. Now, where you may have to branch out is to take an introductory class in one of the other schools as well, if you think your passion may lie outside of a business degree. So we're available and these students are also available, obviously, if you all have further questions. We're going to move on. And the next thing that we're going to do, we know we have a wide range of students interested in a wide range of majors on the call. So we're going to try to have a faculty member from each of our degrees give a really short overview, and you're going to get a quick hit on this. But what you will see is we're going to provide you their contact information later as well. And if you would like follow-up information, either through our School of Business and our Advising Center or through these faculty members, we're happy to answer further questions as well. We're going to do some breakout sessions where you have the chance to answer questions as well. So Dr. Pellicetti, I'm going to turn it over to you first.
Thank you. So I'm going to say a little bit about the business administration program. This is our most popular program. We have the largest number of majors. And it is, if you look at the title, it sort of has a general title, but what it does, it allows the student to be able to sell themselves to a job that is business related. So while some people say, well, it sounds like a very broad degree, it also it has that advantage of allowing the student to be able to sell themselves to any business related job. But it also allows the student to do a concentration. So a student who's in that program, once they get into their junior and senior level courses, they can choose to have a concentration or an emphasis. We call it an emphasis in a particular area. So we have up to 12 of these different emphasis areas. So a person has maybe a relatively broad title, but they have the ability to focus in a particular area as part of their degree package. So the question that the student asked a few minutes ago about, I don't really know what I want to do in business. I think a lot of students choose this as their major because they're not quite sure. I don't know if I really want to go into accounting or human resource management. So this is a broad degree, but it allows you that advantage. And then also to do the emphasis area. If you'll notice on the screen, we have Bachelors of Arts and Bachelors of Science, and we have a number of different programs where you, business administration is one of them, where you could take the degree either way. The difference between the two is that Bachelor of Science requires an additional math class and often an additional class in the major area. So if you were wondering why are those two, what are those two categories, that's the difference between the two. If students decide they want to change their major once they're in the school of business to another business area, that's very easy. So sometimes, so really up until maybe your junior year and even the latter part of your junior year, switching to another major is quite easy. So that's another thing you should think about. I'll pass it off to someone else.
Dr. Hendricks, you're next in the picture list.
Thank you. Hi, everybody. I'm Dr. Hendricks. I'm in the Human Resource Management Department here in the business school. And I have 2 minutes to give you an overview of the HR programs here, which are pretty exciting. Here's a pyramid picture of our undergraduate HR classes. And as you can see that only the top blue capstone is required for the majors. The rest of this, it can be used as business electives. And you have some choices depending on whether you're pursuing the minor or the emphasis or the degree. But I want to impress upon you, we have some fabulous instructors here. We have some of the best in the local area. We are so proud of some of our instructors. But we also have a curriculum honor here, and we were the first university in the state of Missouri to have that curriculum honor by national standards called Alignment Honor from the Society for Human Resource Management. And we are still the only university in the St. Louis area to have that honor, which gives our students some privileges. And it also looks really good on a resume to say that you have an HR degree or took HR classes at a school with the SHRM Alignment Honor. The field of HR has a 10% talent shortage, even this year during the COVID pandemic. And that is because HR people are mobilized even more right now virtually for recruiting and reskilling and upskilling. So there is a talent shortage in HR, and we actually have more internships in HR on the Lindenwood system than we have students to fill them. So we have lots of opportunities here. The field of HR, I'll just give you a summary of it. It's not just hiring, but it's also performance management, employee safety, recognition, employee engagement, building careers, helping people to be successful on the job. So whether you take a few classes in HR or you get a degree, it's a good baseline on people skills for any position in leadership or management that you might aspire to. It's a good building block to go in a variety of directions. And I would be happy to answer any more questions that you might have if you want to contact me directly.
Professor Arns, I think you're next.
Hi, I had to unmute. Hi, I'm David Arns. I'm the Associate Professor of Marketing in the School of Business. And Also for the NCAA student athletes who might be in our audience, I also serve as a university's faculty athletics representative. I'm going to repeat some of the things that you've already heard and that you will hear throughout the evening. And I think one reason for that is because a lot of the things we do in marketing are the same, similar kinds of synergistic kinds of things we do in terms of cross-pollination with all the majors in the building. And marketing really works and plays well with a lot of other disciplines. So I'll just kind of give you some of the high spots of marketing, and frankly, there's some of the high spots of all of the disciplines. They're not just specific to marketing, but our marketing curriculum and our approach to education is an application-based, very practical, pragmatic, application-based approach. Students come to Lindenwood to study business, but specifically marketing, to do marketing. And there are a lot of different things that you can do in marketing, so I'm not going to get into that. There's hundreds, if not thousands, of different kinds of things you can do, everything from the very creative side to the very analytical side, and anything in between, whether it's consulting or private business or nonprofit or whatever. So there's a lot of different opportunities for marketing. Our faculty has real world experience, both full-time and our adjuncts. Everybody who is teaching whatever discipline they're teaching, they have some experience in it. In my case, I have about 30 years of experience in public relations and marketing communications. So I teach marketing communications, public relations, and the principles of marketing class. We have a very strong digital component in our marketing curriculum, and it's getting stronger. We have very small classes, as has been mentioned. We have lots of interactions with professors and with fellow students. There's lots of synergy among the disciplines, as I mentioned. Lots of things that marketing can do in conjunction with other disciplines. Our business core curriculum lets you experience a lot of different aspects of business, and the general education liberal arts coursework exposes you to a lot of different aspects of life that come in handy as a marketer. Once you graduate, you met Crystal. Once you graduate from Crystal's and Bailey's advising services, you're going to have a one-on-one relationship, both in terms of advising and also with mentoring. That works for all the time you're at Lindenwood, whether it's undergraduate, graduate school, and then a career. You've developed a relationship with your academic advisor and other professors on faculty. There are internships. Emily had mentioned the internship programs. We have her in our building exclusively for business majors, which is really, really cool. So she and her office assist not just with internships, but also with career planning at the back end. And then I'll just wrap up by saying we have lots of opportunities for leadership and involvement. We have marketing club, DECA club. Marketing majors seem to be very heavily involved in the Delta Sigma Pi program, DSP professional business fraternity. So there's a lot of activity. So I'll leave it at that.
I'll take over a little bit from here. I'm going to put a different hat on for a minute. I had the privilege of beginning my career at Lindenwood as a faculty member in the sport management department. I helped found our sport management department here in our School of Business. So I'm going to put that hat back on because I still am fortunate enough to have the opportunity to teach in our sport management department. And I like to think it's the sexiest major we have, quite honestly. And for those that are sports fans or student athletes, I think you all will as well. But the reason I say that is that I think so many of us grow up as a fan of sports, and especially if you're from St. Louis, you grow up as a fan of Cardinal baseball or Blues hockey. I will say to you that one of the key ingredients of our sport management degree is it's more than about being a fan. It lives in our business school for a reason, and it lives in our business school because our sport management students really get the core foundation of business principles that they need to go on to any career in business. You will be sitting next to you, accounting students and finance students and marketing students in all of your core classes. But we build on that then and take your beginning marketing class and teach you about the nuances of sport marketing. We move into teaching event management. You'll have a business law class and then move into a sport law class. So you really learn about the core business principles as they apply to the business of sport. And many of you know at this point, as you've read about the impact of COVID on sports, there is a huge business impact, just as there is the impact of us not getting to watch games in person right now. Sports is about the 4th largest industry in the world. And so your business background that you get at Lindenwood is key to you moving on to a career in sports. The piece I'll leave you with is that we have the opportunity, because Lindenwood has such a large athletic department, and because we're in the St. Louis metropolitan area, that our students feed right into internships and hands-on learning in their class from the very beginning. With Major League Soccer coming in, we've formed a great partnership there. When the Rams were here, we had that partnership, and our students really have the opportunity through volunteer activities and internships to get a foot in the door in this regional area very quickly, which leads to bigger and other internships around the world as well. So I'll leave it at that, and I will also be in the breakout rooms if people have questions also. So Dr. Allen, you're up next.
Thank you. Good evening. Welcome to the Plaster School of Business and Entrepreneurship. The Entrepreneurial Studies program is the program that you really want to be a part of if you're interested in starting your own business or starting your own product or service lines and things like that. The end point of the Entrepreneurial Studies program is really to get you to the point through the class work so that you walk out of here with a well-developed, well-rounded business plan, and you're ready to launch that business that you had in your mind that you wanted to launch. A lot of the things that people have already said are also true with entrepreneurship, but I'm particularly proud of our faculty. All of the faculty who teach in entrepreneurship have actually launched their own businesses, including myself. And we are very active in the entrepreneurial community as a school, and as many of the faculty are involved here. So if you are interested in launching your own business or your product or your services, this is really a place to come to and learn about entrepreneurial studies. I'm looking forward and would like to meet all of you once you get onto campus when we have that opportunity. And at this point, I'll turn it over to Mr. Larry Aker.
To unmute. There we go. Not all that technologically sound at times. I'm Larry Acker, and I come to teaching after being a hospital administrator, a nursing home administrator, and an administrator of outpatient clinics. Back in the old days, it was considered that only physicians could run healthcare operations. But they found out over the years with the increasing complexity of healthcare that you need somebody with a good, solid business background. So our healthcare management program, undergraduate, and we have a graduate MHA program as well, Master's in Health Administration, tries to merge those business principles with specific courses in healthcare to allow you to work with various healthcare professionals, whether they be physicians or nurses or CNAs or CPAs, is to know how to move that organization forward. And the types of jobs that our graduates would look at could be everything from in administration, as I was, department heads, especially if you have any kind of clinical background, though you do not need a clinical background. I'll tell you that you'll probably get one as an administrator. Healthcare associations of various sorts, physician offices is a big place to go as far as a number of jobs there, and also general consulting. And I had my own business consulting firm for about 17 years, and I was able to use a lot of the business courses that you'll get at the Plaster School of Business, particularly marketing, financial analysis, business plan development for various institutions here in St. Louis. We have a great number of well-trained and really experienced faculty, full-time and adjunct faculty in the healthcare management programs. And we're also here to help our students as they go through the program, and then as they do some career exploration, letters of reference, and those sorts of things. It's a great field to be in now. It is exciting. You can choose whichever direction you want to go in. It's just it's a great field. I'm very happy that I got into it. Thank you. And now I will pass the baton.
Thanks, Larry. Hi, my name is Coleman. I am the chair of the Department of Accounting, and I came into this wondering how I was going to get enough information to you in 2 minutes, and now I'm tempted to just turn my 2 minutes over to Katie because she did such a good job on laying out the accounting department and her experiences, and thank her for that. And also, Katie, I texted Professor Wilbrand while I was waiting for my turn to tell her what you said about her, and she reports back that that made her entire semester to hear that. So, and Professor Wilbrand is just one of several professors in the accounting department. We have a wonderful faculty. I think all but one of our full-time faculty have either a law degree or a doctoral degree. Everyone has real-world experience, not only in accounting, but in business. So we have a fantastic faculty. One thing I'd like to say in these presentations is what accounting isn't, because I think a lot of people get people that don't know a lot about accounting think that it's real heavy numbers and heavy math, and it certainly involves numbers and math, but you probably already know the math that you need to be in accounting. Totally coincidentally, talking to another professor today, and he talked about accounting feeling a little bit like algebra to him, and all of you have probably had algebra already and probably done just fine in it. So don't let the math or the numbers scare you away from accounting. The skills that are going to be more interesting in accounting are going to be more useful in accounting. Are going to be logic, analytical, critical thinking skills. Computer skills are becoming more and more important, writing skills, and most importantly, integrity and honesty. Those are what we're looking for. So don't let the numbers and the perception of it being numbers heavy scare you off. The job outlook in accounting is excellent right now. Virtually all of our graduates from the accounting program, both at the graduate and undergraduate level, are finding jobs in the field. The jobs are well-paying jobs. The top graduates, including what Katie can expect when she graduates shortly, are jobs ranging anywhere from the 40s to the high 50s, and our top students are finding multiple offers in a lot of cases. So the job outlook is outstanding. Let's see, and one thing I wanted to mention, the accountants, a lot of you are athletes. We have a lot of student athletes, and the accountants are kind of like the statisticians of business, so the people that keep track of the statistics. And so I did that with my colleagues and measured their 2-minute segments, and I can report to you that only Professor Allen stayed within the 2-minute time limit. So kudos to Bob Allen. And that's all I have. Hopefully I'll have a chance, if you're interested in accounting, to talk to you a little bit more during the breakout session. But I did want to thank Katie. I recruited her from one of my classes to join us today, and I wanted to thank her for taking the time out to meet with you guys too. All right, I'll pass it on to Dr. Faruqi.
Hello, everyone. Am I on mute? Yes, I am. Hi, first of all, I want to start off with thanking Katie and Catherine for the amazing things that they said. It makes us as faculty feel like we're doing our job correctly. So thank you. And to be within my 2-minute limit, I'm going to ditto everything Professor Coleman said about math, about great faculty, about the skill set that you need, and other professors that talked about internship. Ditto to all of that for the finance department. So what's unique about finance? Finance, it's all about money. Where to find it, how to grow it. And in the finance department, we have a little bit for everybody, because we have multiple tracks, such as the corporate finance, investments, personal finance, and we cater to different interests, different personality types, different or various skill sets that you might have. So whether you're an introvert analytical type or extrovert people person, or a blend of the two worlds, there is a finance career that would be perfect for you. Our undergraduate program is CFA certified. What does that mean? It means we have a comprehensive and robust curriculum which will prepare you for any finance career path that you choose. And we're continuously looking for ways to improve it. In addition to all of the classwork, we offer multiple experiential learning opportunities, which includes internships, competitions, field trips. We even have our own student managed fund, which where students get to manage about $100,000. We have a lot of exciting opportunities here in the finance department and in the Plaster School of Business as a whole. I still got 20 seconds, so I beat everybody. I'll pass that on.
Okay, welcome everyone. It's Dr. Tani Ferrarini here from Economics. My hope is that you can hear me. The video is not working, but that's okay. That's what we do. We work on the fly and we energize what we're doing. I'm going to be speaking to the research arm of the Plaster School. We have exciting things going on, and if you join us, you will be working among a team of world-class researchers. In economics, we investigate how strategic decision-making and policy-making can help you and others live secure, prosperous, and comfortable lives. With our efforts, we are actually experience-driven, we're research-oriented, and I think most importantly, what you'll find across the spectrum is we're student-centric. And with this, we complement what we're doing on the research and teaching fronts with what interests you and can help you live the best lives at all possible. Through advising, teaching, professional service, and research, we're here for you. And I think I just beat your 2-minute limit. Moving on. Thank you, Jennifer.
Hello, welcome everyone. I'm Dr. Jennifer Mack. I'm Interim Associate Dean, and I wanted to take just a couple of seconds to tell you about minors. So all the degree programs that you just heard about are just that. They're a full-fledged degree program, so you can get a Bachelor's of Arts or a Bachelor's of Science. All of those programs, there's an ability to earn a minor or an emphasis. So we have a lot of students who are interested in a degree in accounting, but they might want a minor in finance. So students will pair things together. We really encourage you to use those free electives, especially if you're a new incoming freshman, to be mindful about your free electives. If you plan things right and you can work with your advisor for this, then you can easily add on additional credentials. So you can have your major degree and then a minor program. We also have some minors that you didn't hear about. So if you have interests in supply chain management, international business, nonprofit, those are additional areas that we have available to you. And even though we don't have a full-fledged degree program, we have very good minors that gives you what you need. So if we have students who are interested in accounting and then they want to go into the nonprofit area, you get a nice introduction into that so that you can speak that language. So just be very mindful. A lot of students want to try and just take free electives to do fun things, and that's perfectly fine and great. But if you want to be a little bit more mindful in how you're planning out your degree program and not have to take additional classes, think about those minors. All right, that's all for me.
Thanks, and we'll wrap it up pretty quickly. A couple of things. We'll finish just by saying kind of the things that have been reiterated here. We would love for you to come join our family at Lindenwood and the Plaster School of Business and Entrepreneurship family. We would love to answer your questions if you have follow-up questions for us. We are going to take a few minutes and move into a couple of breakout rooms. Once we move into those rooms, you won't come back. And we hope you come back to Lindenwood, but you won't come back to this main Zoom meeting. So we're going to break you out, and anyone that has questions is welcome to ask questions in those rooms. But then you won't return to this main room as well. All of the faculty that are on this call right now will be in those rooms to answer degree-specific questions. And then one of the other slides that was up there was your ability to follow us on social media. So join our family initially that way. And we have some great posts going out. We have some videos that overview what's going on in the school. But then we will go ahead right now to our breakout sessions and leave you from there.